So, as part of my previous video, which was basically changing the oil in my 958, my Cayenne, I did the transfer case oil change as well. So, what I did use is the Ravenol Transfer Fluid DTF-1. I bought it off of Amazon, and I follow a couple of guys on YouTube who actually have Cayennes as well, and this is what they've used, and they pretty much swear by this thing. And I have a guy at Porsche Experience Center whom I also talks to about this oil, and if he knows anything about it, and he pretty much gave me a thumbs up. So this is something you might want to do if you have never done it before. It's a good service to keep up with. For me, I don't do it all the time, so I go about 30-40 miles, change it just to make sure it's clean, and the transfer case oil is good to go. So
here's the transfer case for my 2015 Cayenne, right? So we want to go ahead and replace this fluid right here. I don't know if you can see it, but but it's the Ravenol Transfer Fluid DTF-1, right? So here is the fill plug, and here is the drain plug. Now, make sure you can actually remove this guy, right? Make sure you can actually remove it. So make sure you crack it up, and before you drain, basically you want to make sure you can fill it up before you drain, okay? Because if you end up draining this and you can't fill it up because you couldn't get this open, then you're left with no fluid in here, which is a bad thing for your car. So you want to crack this, make sure you can, and then boom, you release this one and drain the whole thing. And once you do that, you lock this one back up, and then you fill. So let's go. So what you want to do, you don't want to over tighten this thing, right? You just want to hand tighten it, you know, else you can crack your transfer case. Boom. So I can actually fill it up. So I'm going to go ahead and loosen this guy. Make sure we're dropping in. Okay. Now I'm gonna drain this guy. It's still very clean, so I really shouldn't even have to do it, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it once. Let's make sure it drains out completely. So after my oil change, I did run the car for a bit just so I can make sure I have no leaks, and make sure my oil was set right and all that good stuff. So my exhaust pipe is really hot. Even this is warm, but this is really hot. So you might want to do this you might want to do this when the car is just warm, not too hot, so you don't get burned, right? So it looks like we're about fully drained now. I want to wipe the drain plug before we put it right back into. So same thing, go ahead and seal it back up. Not too tight, right? Boom, you're good. Clean it out. So we're going to loosen the fill plug and fill it up. Remember, I cracked it before now to make sure I cooled. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So one cool thing about this Ravenol, it comes with like more or less a nozzle, right, like that. So you just have to pull it up, right? Guide it into the fuel hole. Boom. And you basically just give it a little bit of pressure and pour it in. So when it starts to drip out, then you know it's full. Boom, we're pretty much filled up. So the transfer case is full. So I'm going to let the excess drain out before we seal it back up. All right, looks like the overflow is all out. So now we can go ahead and seal this up, and that completes your transfer case fluid service. So just go back in, seal it up. Remember, don't over tighten this guy. What we want to do now, just tighten it, not too tight so you don't crack your transfer case, okay? Just enough and you're good. Check to make sure you're good. Bring it up. Thumbs up.